To all those above me that watch over me, to all of you, my fave parapeeps on this side of the veil, welcome. This is the Paranormal Ministry. I'm your host, Sean Whittington. I'm a seminarian in the United States Old Catholic Church, and I'm coming to you live from my haunted house, my very haunted house. And it's been quiet for a while, but today, no. And you all know why it's not quiet today. Spirit is here along with each and every one of you for the last Monday of the month, which is Happy Medium Monday. And we've had a couple of months off from that because our my esteemed co-host, she'll fill you in on and give you an update on how she's doing, but she had to take some time off. So I'm so glad we're back to doing that. So I'm going to get right to that without further ado. Live from Cape Cod, Cape Cod's only live on air psychic radio personality, the one and only Susan AHEARN. Hello.
Hello. Hi, guys. I'm so happy to be back.
Um, hello, Michelle. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
Mhm.
shut up now because what
Bye.
these 50 some odd questions are things that people sent in for you over the past couple of months since you've been gone. But the one that keeps coming back, repeating itself, is wanting to know how you are. Um,
Sure.
and if somebody types in a question for you, then we can go to it. But people want an update on how you're doing with all your issues. And I know there's
Oh my.
quite a few. We're still working on the
Yeah,
drinking one,
I have my
all the other
list
ones.
of all my issues. Oh gosh. No, I'm doing very well. Surgery went wonderful. It was to replace my knee, total knee replacement. So, yeah, I'm doing really good. I'm moving around. Actually, I'm recovering faster than normal, so that's a plus. And yeah, so I'm doing good.
That's very good because you're I'm much older than you. Um,
I don't
so
think
I
so.
always have to walk on eggshells when I start talking about age around women because it is what it is.
Right.
You guys are very sensitive about that.
Oh, I don't care.
Um,
And there's the first shocker of the day. Sean's much older
Oh,
than someone.
shh.
Ta da ta.
ta-ta. um, and while he just popped in, it reminds me too. I want everybody to keep Zach in your prayers. He's suffering a terrible migraine, and right before the show, he took some heroin, and so he may be a little bit weird tonight. But keep him in your prayers because the migraine.
Stop. It's not a funny joke. We don't joke about that.
Yeah, that's migraines are terrible. I'm
Oh,
still
they're awful.
a month later. I'm still struggling with after effects from my bout with COVID. But um, yeah, migraines are a terrible thing. But I
Mhm.
mean, you had a lot of things. You had the knee replacement. That was your second one. You're very
Right.
brave to do that because many years ago when I played football, I
Mhm.
had many knee injuries and they weren't fun to deal with.
Mm-mm.
And then Zach asked you something in the green room about your ribs. What happened? I haven't heard nothing about that.
'Cause I didn't wanna tell anybody, but now that we're telling the world, I am very clumsy. Stop. I'm very clumsy, and, I don't mean to be. I just probably it's because 'cause I'm not rooted in my body all the time. That's probably half of the problem. But I was doing stuff I wasn't supposed to, and because 'cause I'm, stubborn, and I was made my way outside to my car because I needed something and I wasn't gonna wait and I can do this by myself type of thing. And my foot got caught in the cobblestone and I tell you, it was like somebody picked me up and just body slammed me because I was right there. It was the universe. The universe was going, "What are you doing? Why are you not on the couch? Why are you outside?" And I knew I was going down, so I rotated kind of funny to protect my knee, and I busted a couple of ribs.
That's not fun either.
No, right at
Been
the
there, done that.
sternum,
You
right at
don't
the
even
sternum.
want to
So I was like,
breathe.
"Oh,
Yeah,
no,
you
no,
don't even want to breathe. You don't
no,
want to move. You don't want to breathe, and you want the best drugs you can get your hands on.
yep."
That's painful and it's dangerous too. People always say, "Oh, you broke a rib." Boxers do it
Well,
all the time. Football
uh,
players do it all the time. No,
yeah,
it can be dangerous too. You could
it can be.
puncture lungs with a
Right.
broken rib.
Right.
Well, I love you. I miss you, and I'm glad you're back, even if it's for just tonight. I know next Happy Meeting Monday is Memorial Day. We're going to take that off, but then you should be back on a regular schedule with us,
Mhm.
and everybody misses that. And so, having said that, with all these people that have missed you, we won't get one question tonight for a call in, but that's okay because I still want to catch up with you. But let everybody know what the rules are. No conjuring tonight because conjuring is a much different thing for you. It takes a lot more energy, a different type of energy, a lot more time. The show's not that long. So tonight are just quickie psychic readings. People just if you're watching the show, you have access to the live chat room. Just type your question in there for Susan. You can a first name is helpful. You don't have to use last name if you don't want to, but if you want to, that's cool too. But type in your question, and we're looking for like the big five, which is questions about love, health, money, work, travel, things like that. Of course, because she does have uh, a spiritual posse, if she does get a message sent to her by spirit that's really directed for somebody out there, she will, of course, she'll throw that out
Yeah.
to you. But otherwise than that, it's just kind of quickie psychic readings tonight. And we probably won't get one question because everybody's probably like this, wanting to know what's going on.
Right. We got a lot to cover. I got lots going on. I sat so this almost it's going to be it's only a month and a half. It feels like it's been forever. I really felt like I was being punished, put into timeout. When you can't move and you have to sit there with yourself and you can't escape yourself, you go crazy. You have to like do stuff. I have to do stuff. So I did a lot of online classes that would just kept me busy and so, and then Daniel and I, while I was sitting there thinking, I came up with this great idea, and he was having the same idea at his place. So we were like, "Shut up! This is so cool!" So we've got another thing brewing. Where I did started doing some writing for another show. So we're gonna see what that does. But I'm excited about this one. This one feels really good.
And this is the Daniel who's also a member of Mass Hauntings, your paranormal group. And this is the Daniel that's also the producer and the director, correct?
Correct. So
He's
yeah.
doing another movie, I hear.
Well, yes, he's got two other things going. And then he said next month we're going to sit down. That'll give me time to write up pull together my stuff, my ideas. I already pitched it to him, and he's like, totally. So it's going to be. I can't tell you, but it's
Not
going to be a haunted something.
will it
And
still be the Mass Hauntings team or different?
no, it isn't because Owen's really gone in his own direction. For now, he's young
Yeah.
and he's doing his thing. And Myra's got a lot on her plate, so she can't at this time. So
That's too bad. Well, I know whatever it is you two are brewing up is going to be good. He actually, I'm not sure what his. I saw him post something for extras. Come on
hmm
down to this location downtown, wherever, and be
hmm
be an extra in the show if you want.
yeah.
I'm not sure what his new movie is. You probably know way more than me, but he's probably going to kill me for saying this, but he did send me a part of the script that he wrote a scene about uh,
Oh
priest trying interviewing and trying to determine if a person was possessed,
yeah.
and it was so well done. It was almost like um, he'd done that before, or
hmm
me and him had had a long talk before he wrote that. It was
Yeah.
very well done. I was very proud of him. I sent him back messages that don't change a thing unless you want to. Of course, you're the writer, but
Right.
I love what I read. I wouldn't change a thing. So good for him. And
Yeah, he really is amazing. I love working with him. His ideas are great. He's just so wonderful. Hi, Sharon.
uh,
Oh.
Sharon, you're welcome. She's missed you too. So if she
hmm
sends in a question, she may type one in. And hi, Charles. And he's got a question for you, and I'll be
Okay.
quiet. Can you
All
read
right.
those?
I can. I'm going to put my glasses on. But yeah, it says, will he be going to Sedona, Arizona soon? All right.
That's a cool place.
I love Sedona.
That's on my to-do list of places that I probably will never go to that I want to go to. I heard it's just so spiritually magical.
Right? It says never. Do you have
Oh
plans,
no.
Charles? It says never. That's
Oh
not
no.
fair. I hope you have plans already, and that's wrong. We're going to say that one's wrong. I don't like that.
You're
I'm going to
never
ask
going,
again.
Charles. Good evening,
No,
Linda. You're never going, Charles. I'm sorry to have
never.
to.
That was very final, wasn't
Yeah.
it? It was like maybe, could be, possibly, never. Done. Sorry, Charles.
Well, they know better than we know, and
Guess so.
there's probably.
It's a good reason not
I
to go.
may. There's probably a good reason
hmm
why, and it could be wrong. You don't have to listen to spirits. You can do your
Yeah,
own
don't
thing.
listen to me. You still go.
But
That's what
if
I
you really
say.
want to go, go.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a question here, Susan.
Uh-huh.
With what you just said, okay,
Mhm.
we as humans, every once in a while, we misinterpret a question. Is it possible that maybe they misinterpreted what you were trying to get across to them? Is that even at all possible?
Yeah, like I may not be hearing very well. Like it's all things possible. Like his own like personal belief system is he really wants to go, but then we throw those, oh, but I can't get away from work and I don't have enough money and I blah blah blah. Blah. All those things are a factor in the answer as well. Like we may want something really bad and people will go, how come nobody loves me? I'm not in a relationship. But then they do all these things to chase people away. So a question's a question unless we really could get into it and figure out what's really at the bottom of it. And I would say manifest. And sometimes they'll throw out an answer that's really firm like that and go, no, never. And then it kind of puts a fire under you to say, you know what? I can. And you may have been that person that needed a little fire. So that could be it
Okay,
too. Yeah. So thanks for
sounds good.
asking, Zach. That was a good question.
So
Good point, Anthony.
we do have another question here. So
Hi, Michelle. I'll be
Hi,
quiet now
Michelle.
so you can read that.
Is there anything good going to happen this month for me? Ooh, this is a tough month.
Nothing. Never.
There we go. Never. I'm just going to pull that card all night.
now, look, if that happens again, you've got some spirits with issues.
Yeah.
Never.
Well, before you answer Michelle's question, thank you for the question, Michelle. I want to add this.
Yeah.
I know that you had some issues. And you've told me many times there's some nights where you don't want to do this because if you are feeling like crap,
Mhm.
you're not good.
Yeah. No, I have to be in a place of connectivity. And if I am in pain, pain it blocks it because that's just one of my blockers. Interesting enough, when I get drinking, if I have a drink, I'm like get wide open. Oh my God. So I don't
Oh,
like to drink because
that
I
was
hear
that was
everything.
TMI.
Yeah, if I start drinking and I'll hear everything, and then they're like, "Oh, go talk to that person," and then I'm walking around the bar reading everybody, going, "You really need to fix this," as I'm sloppy, it's awful. So you don't want to get that. So yeah, I don't like drinking that much, anyways. So. But yeah, there's different things, circumstances in life that'll make you, if you're emotionally not in the right headspace, if something sad has happened, or you just have to be in the right place. I think responsibly for me. Now, not everybody will do that. Some people can read till the cows come home. Um, I like to honor my boundary because I'm sensitive and I can make myself sick if I don't honor my boundaries.
Absolutely.
So I forget what she asked.
She asked if
Oh,
anything good was going to happen to her this month.
yeah. This is going to be a tough month going all the way into the end of May. Um, and um, Yeah. I'm not kidding. I didn't do this on purpose. I did not do this on purpose. Now they're just messing with us because we said we were going to. So
Yep.
they're adding a little levity here.
Good.
That's very cute. That was very funny. I pulled the Fool, and so it's best to just kind of put blinders on to the negative things that are happening around you that may come up. Not that they are, but if they do come up, um, just kind of put blinders on. Just kind of go like really kind of naively, da 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 da. I'm just in my own little bubble, and just kind of um, just move through. Just start your day in joy. Just say, okay, today it's going to be, and I'm going to live in joy, and I'm going to da 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 da. That's going to be helpful for you, Michelle, because it does feel like there's going to be some stuff around you, whether it's at work or at home, or just a lot of emotion. Could be family stuff too. That's just natural, but they may be triggering. They may be a little sorry, be a little bit upsetting. So just neutralize that and just like, oh, it's fine. Everything's fine. Just kind of poo poo it off. And that will be helpful. I'm going to pull one more card. Yeah. They're saying just it's the peace card. You're going to be good. You'll be good. Crazy might be around you, but you're going to be good. So, yeah, keep your head down and keep moving.
Very good. It's very important to stay positive, regardless of always try your best to think of the glass as always being half full, and
Mhm.
try to find the silver lining in the dark clouds, and just be positive. You can shake that stuff off when crazy jumps on you. You can shake it off. Many people don't. They deal with it, and sometimes it snowballs from there. But
Yeah.
hi, Linda.
So,
Linda's got
Linda,
one.
yeah. What do I see coming up for you? Well, you've got something in already in motion that's happening for you. It's not saying what it is, but to go after it. You need to stay focused on it. It's something new. It's something juicy. This is kind of fun. I like this because it's kind of a phallic card. It's the birth card. And it's very juicy for you. So I would say, yeah, just stay focused on the prize. Keep your eye on the prize and go for it. Just keep going. It's moving forward instead of backwards. He's pointing forward. So slow and steady. It may not be moving as fast as you like, but it's still moving. So go with it and be. Your guides are saying be strong with intention. So make sure that you have a goal, a focus, and don't wander off of that or don't change your mind. I think sometimes you get to be a little butterflyish and you kind of flit around with, oh, maybe this, no, maybe that. And they're saying, no, stick to one thing and push forward and you'll be good. Oh, you're welcome, Michelle. I hope that was helpful.
And Michelle, you probably already know this. Michelle's a someone I see at night prayer all the time, and
Oh, she's got
for the
lovely
USOCC.
energy.
So already got her on my prayer list. So I will
Hmm.
say a prayer. I'm already praying for Zach to get feeling better, and you, but
Thank
Michelle's
you.
already on my prayer list too. I will pray that thing. She has a very good. She's able to just like wear that
Hmm.
protective
Yeah. And she's got a
bubble.
message coming too. Michelle, you've got a message. They wanted to let you know that something is coming your way and it will be good. Just it's they're excited for you. So
Oh, that's cool. That's very
yeah.
cool.
Yeah. That is
I'm
nice. So
going to
we
be
look forward to it.
selfish here and ask you one.
Okay.
Like it's everybody's got their issues. Since the pandemic started,
Mhm.
I didn't hide in the basement nowhere. I lived life, so did Sharon, and never caught it. So it was a big surprise a month ago to get it. Sharon got it too. But Sharon, she shakes it off. Unbelievable. Here I was like, uh-oh. Let me get ready to call 911 because she's going to the hospital. But no, she like a couple of days later, she's shaking it off. She's back to work. Um, and I had a really, really rough time. Like I said, it's been a month. It's a month out, and I still got issues like just run down all the time. This persistent cough I can't shake. Doctor says people are now reporting a list of things that they are
Mhm.
now having that they're not able to shake for long term. What do you see? And I'm doing everything I can to stay healthy.
Yeah.
What do you see as far as me being able to shake this funk, whatever it is?
They're telling me that you're really soggy. I describe it as soggy. So, um, to flush your system.
Very good.
Um, yes, Zach.
Soggy.
Well, Jack knows that my one of my nicknames in high school was Soggy, but I know that's has nothing to do with what you're talking about tonight.
Yeah, that was
Um,
I,
bedwetting, right?
I think so. We it's one of his issues on the list. Um, yeah, it's just like you're congested, but your whole body is. You're just like a runny nose. You're just one giant runny
oh my
nose.
gosh, absolutely, yeah.
Mm.
What
And
is going
so,
on?
a good steam bath. If you could steam that out of your system, sweat it out of your system. Anything like that would be helpful. Oh, sweat lodge would be really good.
Oh my God, could
Um,
you imagine? Yeah, a nice spiritual go out to the reservation and talk to my
mhm.
holy
Oh,
friends.
that would be
Ask them if I can get in
awesome.
on one of those. That would be so amazing.
That would be very helpful too. So something like that. Heat yourself up. Get yourself to just purge it from your system, and you'll feel much better.
Very cool. Very
Yeah,
cool.
it's nothing. Don't buy into the big story because that's not what's happening. There's no panic there.
All
And
right.
pull the moon. So this is see the saw. It's all about water. Ooh, which way are my camera? It's this is like water and the moon, the nurturing. You've still got another phase of it going through your body right now. It's kind of
Yeah,
a,
it's
a
weird.
yeah, a
He's,
lower phase, but it's still there.
he does know he's on camera, right?
Oops.
Yeah, I had to say because you never know what we're gonna see, and I didn't
I
want.
was right. I'm hoping he has
Yeah,
pants on.
yeah. Thank God you guys can't see my iPad.
I think he's feeling better.
It was
Your
us.
prayers worked.
He needed a little happy medium Monday.
See, you do. Everybody does.
So I'm happy for you. You look
Ah,
great. I'm glad everything's coming along for you too, and I wish you um, the best of luck with your new little project that you can't tell anybody about.
I know, right.
And
And I apologize in advance. I'm a little wiggly, but like my knee, I just keep shifting because there's really no comfortable spot. So I apologize for
I know
being.
you do this from your daughter's haunted office. How's the ghost there
Yeah.
tonight?
I didn't really feel anybody in here, although there was a weird light on in one of the locked offices, and I'm like, I didn't notice it before when I drive by the first time, and now it's on. So I was like, interesting.
Um,
So,
have you ever heard from Brett again?
I haven't. I
Because
haven't. I
every
wish
once
I
in a while
did.
I get a weird post from him
Hmm,
on Facebook, and I don't think anybody's got
that's
access
weird.
to his Facebook page who would
What
be
does it
sending
say?
posts out. Just something will pop up that he's posted
Oh,
back in the day, and he's like
so a
reposting
memory
it.
thing. Oh, wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
we have to let people know because if no one knows Brett, that Brett was a friend, a longtime friend of yours, and then he on the show, and then he had passed.
quickly.
Uh,
He got COVID
mm,
too, and it really
kicked
some
his
people.
butt.
I've had several friends in my age group, some even younger, way healthier than me, that they're not with us any longer. They're in heaven because it really
Yeah.
it's not a joke.
No.
Whatever the funk is, it's.
Yeah.
But I was always concerned, not concerned anymore. He doesn't have a worry in the world. But I was wondering if he ever found out. Well, he knows obviously now where the money is. But I
He knows
wondered
where
if
the
that
money is. If he could
haunted
let
office.
us know where the money is, that'd be good too.
Yeah.
I was wanting to put up this question real quick, Susan, because it's kind of something that I think that if you could explain it to people, they would better understand it. So, and this is something that people who are skeptics
Right.
may wonder.
Do tarot cards echo people's thoughts? Um, they may. I don't know. I talk directly to your guides, so I really don't need these. But people like to see stuff. They like
Yeah.
to see where I've got it, the answer from. So, but how I work is I get permission, say, Sean, I get permission from your guides to go in and see what's happening in your energy field, and they connect with my guides and they have a conversation up there, and they tell me what is most important for you. What's most important for Sean? If you've got 10 minutes with Susan, we're not going to fool around. I want to go. They go direct. And so um they'll say something and then I throw a few cards which just reiterate what I just said. So it's kind of fun, like you can't make that stuff up. So it's kind of neat. Um and it's so that's how I work. But other people, everybody works a little bit differently. I don't follow the regular rules and regulations of but I never do in anything, I think. So what makes tarot cards any different?
I don't know
Um,
what I did with it. You bringing that up? I used to have a deck
mhm.
right here. Oh, there it is. I dabbled with these back in the day some,
Oh, nice.
and what happened was once I started double checking, like whatever I felt they were telling me, I started double checking by somebody said, why don't you use you're in clergy, why don't you use angel cards or Bible cards? And that planted a seed. So I started the same type of method I was doing with the cards before. I would think something or ask something and then pull whatever I would pull. I started doing that too. I had so many Bibles around. I just eeny, meeny, miny, mo, picked one Bible. And I would just open up to wherever. I wouldn't even look to where I would open it up, and I would open it up and just put my finger down, and I would read whatever was there that my finger had landed on, whatever part of
Yeah.
scripture that my finger landed on.
Yep.
And 99.999% of the time, whatever I read gave me clarity on what it was that I needed an answer for. It was pretty amazing. So that's how I got away from the cards and started doing what many people refer to as bibliomancy.
Mhm.
But even then, you have to be very careful. Um, sometimes if I feel that the message is a little funky, that it's somebody's trying to sneak in there and give me the wrong feel. You got to be careful with that.
Yep. And Anthony, I would agree with you that so if I have you hold the cards, you're putting your energy onto the deck or into the deck. I would say that it would pick up your energy that way and blend, but also when you're going shopping for cards, it's you take the time to find the right deck, and sometimes the right deck finds you. Yeah.
Um, do you like any other forms of I guess would we call this conjuring? Not
What?
like spirit conjuring, but would we call what you're doing a form of conjuring, or is there another name that they attach to that?
Um, I would call it channeling,
Okay.
but I guess, it is conjuring. I mean, if I'm asking something outside of my realm for an answer or to come hither and be here, then yeah, I think that that would be conjuring, right?
Do you like what's your? I know I've asked you this question. I can't remember when I did, but what's your feelings on the Ouija board or spirit boards in general?
I don't like them, but then I kind of feel hypocritical because I use my table. But the table is very sacred. It's very blessed. It's very sacred. Um, I am talking to a very high guide that, and then I am pulling on all sorts of guides and angels that are in the corners of the room. And then there's another layer. So I have this huge protective presence. And and I'm only asking for highest good. And I'm not asking, I'm not like fooling around. There's just where the Ouija board, it usually is like a game, and table is not a game. It's very serious. It's very sacred, and it can mess things up if you come onto table. Like I've had, as I'm training this one person, and we've been practicing table. We had, um, actually, which is very strange, is that all the participants had either had something to drink or had smoked weed before they came to table. And I'm not against either of those, but just not at table, right? So the night that you're doing spiritual stuff, I would say don't do that.
Clarity.
Right,
Clarity.
right. Um, and if you can't abstain, well, then that's another issue. But um, and so we were at the table was very wonky. We were getting all these wonky messages, and they weren't clear. And then our heads started getting spinny, and I'm getting a headache, and and I go, okay, I know exactly what's happening. But it was wonderful because it presented an opportunity for the new person to learn what happens at table. What happens at table when everybody's drunk is it's not going to come out good. It's going to be all over the place, and that's exactly what it was. The table was stumbling down the road, and it's exhausting on me trying to hold space. I'm holding this energy so that their loved ones can come through me onto the table, and I'm holding that. And so it's exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tiring. So it's important that everybody be in the right spiritual mind when coming to table. And you don't get that when you start Ouija. Usually it's in the middle of a party and people are like, oh, come on, let's do it, or let's sneak it. Or if there's anything like that, any negative energy loves that stuff. It's going to feed on it. You're giving it a snack, and then they run with it. If they get that inch, they're going to take it. So yeah, just don't play.
Well, I've always been the first one to admit to people that I messed around with the Ouija board a lot many years ago back in the day.
Mhm.
I never knew what I was doing, and then I had a very bad experience with the Ouija board, and since then, I don't mess with them. Having said that, I do have a few friends that I love and respect who love them, and that's okay. I don't judge. But
Right,
I'm thinking of you sending me that article about that alleged mass possession of all
right,
those school kids in Colombia.
right.
They were doing a Ouija board session, and all the kids, and there was probably a dozen of them,
There was quite a few. Yeah, it wasn't like one or
all had
two.
these issues. And all of a sudden, have you noticed that it's got real hush hush? I do know that they brought clergy in,
Mhm,
and I do know that there was a lot of weirdness going on there at that school
mhm.
with that group that was playing the Ouija board. But then it got real hush hush, and they stopped talking about it. So I don't have any
Any more
current updates on
information?
that. But that's weird.
Yeah.
Uh,
There was a story about that on Travel Channel about 2 weeks ago.
it might have been
Huh.
the same story. Could have
Yeah.
Yeah.
been.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was on the Travel Channel about 2 weeks ago. So,
Yeah, that's scary stuff. You got to be careful.
Yeah. There is a particular demon that is um his thing is the Ouija board.
Hmm.
And yeah, I'm not going to say his name, but that's his thing. And when you open that up, he will come racing out because he's just looking for it. And what's more innocent than young kids, young adolescent kids that, they're just wide open, and they're learning and they're adventurous and they've got a lot of passion for all sorts of stuff. And yeah, they're easy
Well, a
snipes.
couple of the boards that I had here that I was having issues with, I bound them and put them
Hmm.
away.
Good.
But somebody one time recommended that I go out in the yard, dig a hole, throw the Ouija board in there, pour a bunch of gasoline in there, and light the thing on fire. And I also know you have to be very careful when you destroy something like that with fire. What are your thoughts on that, if you have any, about binding versus actually destroying something?
Right. Well, in some practices, spiritual practices, you burn something to release it. But do you want to release that? I don't want to release. I mean, in the hopes that it goes to where it's supposed to, but you're expecting a demon to do the right thing. So I'm not. I would rather bind it But then you're hoping that through hundreds and hundreds of years, someone who finds these bound items, then what happens? Like, that's scary to me. I mean, I know that we bound that crazy clown, and my fear is like, and one of the other members wanted to keep it at his house, and I said, "What if your son walks out and opens it up? Oh, what's this?" I used to get into everything I wasn't supposed to. I'd go looking for things I wasn't supposed to find, and yeah, so like that's that one thing. That great movie, little kid opens it up, and boom, out comes a crazy clown. Great, thanks. So yeah, I don't know. Who wants to be the keeper of the stuff?
Hi, Joanne.
Okay. All right, Joanne, what's happening? What is happening? How can we ease Joanne's situation? Whew. So there's a situation you don't really have a good handle on whatever's happening, and there's still more information coming out. The stranger is either coming in or going out, and we're not quite sure. So you're kind of stuck in this limbo. Um, and this is the prison card. And the prison card is you're feeling really stuck, very limited. Um, and even times just don't want to, like, socially removing yourself from society. You just don't want to or can't. This is the it's all things happening under the stars. So what's happening right now is that this is supposed to be happening. It's kind of predestined. It's the plans. The cards know, the stars know what's going on for you. But for me, I want more for you. So I want to know more. Okay, so granted, yep, everything is unfolding as it shall. Um, Okay, so you're looking forward, looking backwards. So I asked, like, is this going to get better for you? Yes, this will be behind you. Whatever's going on for you is going to be behind you, because you're looking in the mirror behind you, but you're also looking forward, moving forward. So I'd say stay really positive, know what you want, um, do positive talk, because I think right now you may be stuck in kind of like this. Um, Defeated mode, and I don't want to see you be defeated. So if you can change that to a positive, today is going to be a really great day. I'm going to move forward in love and light, and going to hang with positive people. Um, do things that make you feel better. It's going to help you look forward and move forward. So that's the trick for you, hon. Okay, Michelle. And if you could just tell me, text her name, then I will ask her if she's around, and if she comes to us, then I will let you know. So, what's the weather like where you are at, Sean? Edna. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. Atlantis. Okay. So we sent out the call. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Now, if Edna comes back and says never,
Never. Then we'll know.
no, family's always around. Virgil wants to know if you're a vicar, or if maybe he's asking me if I'm a vicar. Somebody asked me that not too long ago from Europe,
Right.
And a vicar is a
Chester England.
very good. A
Wonderful,
vicar
Virgil. Mhm.
is it's a different Christian branch than
Okay.
Catholicism,
Hmm.
and that branch I don't know. I don't know if it's Presbyterian, um, or Anglican. I'm not sure, but there's the term vicar usually is with that other branch, and they're usually
Mhm.
in charge of a parish,
Oh,
which I am not. So I am not a vicar, but Sean, please help me understand how any of this is biblical. No offense. None taken, Jason, and this isn't meant to be biblical. This is just Happy Medium Monday. We're having fun. This is entertainment purposes only. Not meant to be biblical. But no offense taken, not at all.
Hmm.
And on having said that, many, oh my gosh, I don't think until I actually got serious in the clergy that I started really meeting truly gifted people. There are a lot of clergy that are very psychically gifted.
Mhm.
And in order to discern messages from the Holy Spirit, you have to be, um,
Mhm.
because once you jump on that path, you are under attack all the time. As soon as I entered
Mhm.
the seminary, I mean, I've gone through Sharon and I both over 20 plus years of being a team in the field of paranormal research and investigating. We have come under attack many times, but it really intensified as soon as I got accepted into the seminary.
Wow.
Um, so you just gotta be careful. Gotta really be careful and
That's interesting. Yeah, I never thought of that. That's a great. Thank you for sharing that. Well, you're channeling. You're channeling the most pure spirit out there. That most beautiful energy. So yeah. I,
it's kind of funny. And not only James, but I do have a lot of people that have known me and loved me, know me all my life and have loved me that will ask a lot of questions about the show. And I've been doing the show since October of 2015. But
wow.
I have everybody on here, and I think sometimes it can be confusing for people. I have witches on here,
Mhm.
um, people from all different walks of spiritual life, atheists, Catholics, Jewish people.
Yeah, I
Uh,
love your different. I love your variety too. You get
I
the
don't judge. I like
fun
to bring
stuff.
everybody on, and I like to
Mhm.
remind people this is just a show. You
Yep.
know, you get out of it what you get out of it. You know.
So what else?
Oh, what
You've
were
got
we
a
gonna?
list. Get you got a list.
Oh yeah, I have all these questions. Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you.
What?
I stumbled upon that movie again late night. There was nothing on TV. I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
Channel surfing. And I
The zombie
stumbled.
one?
No, it's called The Gift.
Oh,
It's a
the
great movie
gift.
about a psychic, and it's a
I'm
murder
writing it down.
mystery. And I always think about you with the Lady of the Dunes, that
Yeah.
case you worked out there, and you went out there and tried to contact the murdered victim and
Hmm.
figure out who the murderer was. So my question to you, and this happened in that movie,
Hmm.
something very similar. Do you ever get? And I know you, like for instance, when you and the team, Mass Hauntings, went to the Lizzie Borden bed and breakfast, did an overnight investigation. You had spirits from that home come to your home.
Right.
Um,
Daniel brought them with him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever like you were uncovering things that the spirit world was making known to you about this murder case? Do
Hmm.
you ever have the uh, spirit of the killer who may have passed on during this investigation ever come after you or make its presence his or her presence known and hang around and try to mess with you while you're trying to um,
Trying to what?
pull the veil off of a lot of things that people don't know about or may have been suppressed or buried.
Right. I was connecting with her very strongly. Oop, sorry. Um, and so Ruth and I worked very closely, the Lady of the Dunes and I. So I wasn't channeling anyone else. But could it happen? Totally. Very much so. Yeah, definitely. I was picking up people. I was picking up other male energies. Um, and there was more than one. They may find one killer, but there was more than one there at the scene. Um, So, and several of us that worked that case got the same thing. It wasn't one person. Um, but I wasn't connecting with them. But yeah, they could totally get violent or angry or, very caustic in their language towards us, and yeah, make me nauseous or, headache and want to go home. Um, so yeah, that's all possible.
Well, someone did a lot of these questions that came in. At first, I read them, and they were for you. And I
Mhm.
read them and thought, why would somebody ask you that? But then I realized, well, many people don't have your gift. Many people don't see and feel the types of things that you see and feel. Um, that you may have a totally different perspective on a particular topic. And so I didn't know if this person sent this question in because they knew of my doppelganger issue. And I just throw the term
Mhm.
doppelganger on it because I don't know what other term to throw on it.
Right.
But I've had
Right.
many people tell me that, when Sharon walks by here and sees me sitting here working at my desk, and then I look busy, she decides not to bug me, and then she walks into the master bedroom and into the bathroom, and there I am in the bathroom. Then we instantly realize what she saw in here was not me. And then that's usually, not always, but usually followed by the apparition of that child that is seen in my book
Mhm.
come out of the office and walk through the house. But I've always just thrown the term doppelganger on there. But I've had other people in the field, that field of type of research, who will tell me it could be like an alternate universe.
Right.
Um, do you have an opinion or a theory or any thoughts, being in touch with spirit a lot, the whole alternate universe type of thing?
Oh yeah, definitely. There
Really?
is. Oh yeah, there is. Um, it's I can't explain it. I've experienced it myself as far as being present and then seeing something but knowing that it was in the past present, like it was really wonky, and I thought, okay, I think that's just what I just went through, this time continuum type thing, that I was in the present but in the future at the same time. um which is could have been what you saw, you and Sharon doing that. I think it was more shenanigans. I think it was more trickery, for you at your house. Like they wanted to kind of mess with you and let you know that they could embody your wife, which then would add. She's so precious to you that if they mess with her, you freak out, and they know it. So that's where they went there, you know. And
Well, I just assumed it was Sharon's issue because she had that, way back in her college days, had that issue where she was on vacation driving by herself out in the
that
country
was
somewhere, and
crazy. I
yeah,
love that
stopped in a
story.
town, and all these people seemed to know her, waving at her, being nice to her. And then she just got all weirded out because she realized that almost like she stepped back in time. So
Mhm.
she left, figured out my car will make it to the next town, and got to the next town. And when she was inquiring about that other town she had driven through, nobody in that town
That's so
knew about that
crazy.
other town. They're like, there's no town there.
That's like Outlander. That's the movie. Have you seen that?
I don't know if I've seen
Gotta
Outlander. Is
see
that
that because that's kinda
the
where the woman
Scottish
comes in.
movie or the?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that. Don't think
Yeah.
I've seen them.
You would
Oh, that's
like it.
Highlander. I'm thinking of Highlander. You're thinking of the
Outlander, this
actual
is right.
series. I believe it's
Yes.
HBO. No, I heard it was such a
Oh,
wonderful
shoot, I
series.
keep hitting this stupid
I
mic.
haven't seen that.
Sorry, sorry.
How you doing, Zach?
I'm doing okay. But we have one here, and Susan, I don't know how long this would take, or even if you'd be
Okay.
able to answer it. But I wanted to bring this up, uh, just because I know that this is something that a lot of mediums really like to concentrate and try to find justice for people.
The cool thing, Linda, about what's happening right now is that the focus to find and to solve and resolve all these old cases are really hot right now. and they're finding the money because people want them solved. So they create the money to put a team together to go and resolve all these cases. So yeah, let me pull a card and let's see, what do we got? Yeah, union. And the nice part is that the mother and daughter will be able to come together and go and be at rest, because I don't feel like they are at rest. So union is good. It's going to come together, and that would be really nice to get that resolved. So that is a good question. Thank you, Linda.
I have found more and more. Oh, we got Anthony. Hi, Anthony.
I have found that energy of places of murder, you can find spirits that does not want to talk to. Yeah. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that is
I'm
true.
not taking anything away from how wonderful many investigators are, whether it's FBI or
Mhm.
uh, local law enforcement. But I wonder how many times they do reach out to psychics for help. Many are just open about it, and have worked
Mhm.
with some very well known world renowned famous psychics to solve some crimes.
Yeah.
Many are like dead against it. And it's just like in the paranormal field. Some teams will not have a psychic on their team.
Right.
Some won't have a team without a psychic. Um,
Right.
do you think more and more investigations happen where maybe a psychic was reached out to, but they keep that on the down low?
I hope that that happens. I mean, I've gone to, you know, a, quite a few detectives and said, "Look, I have information about this particular case." They always go, "How do you know?" Blah blah blah, and then I become the target. I'm like, "I didn't do it. I'm just telling you." And they have to be people I know, or then I'm the suspect. So, yeah, and they're like, I can't use it unless we can say exactly and how you got it, and then that looks stupid, and they weren't really open to it. But I would hope that that's the thing, that it changes and it morphs into something else. And the state police were on the Lady of the Dunes case. Um, some of them were open to information and working, but most of them were at that point private detectives. So they weren't really in it anymore, but they had good connections. So it was all about the connection. Um, and then I'm sure half of them were like, well, if it was that easy, then why don't you just say it? And it's like, well, I don't get the information that way. Like Ruth, the Lady of the Dunes, she did tell me on the first day the son's name. And she said Richard. But we happened to be, there was a Richie that was with us. There was 3 of us. And I'm like, "Are you talking about Richie?" And she said, "Richard." And I said, "Okay, no, Richard." And I said, "Okay, well, what does that mean?" That doesn't mean anything unless I have a story to go with it. One name isn't anything. A sentence, "Richard is my son," would have been helpful. But Richard, so we just not note that and write it down. And that's all we can do. And then it's like a puzzle. You put all the pieces together. And if we keep getting Richard and she keeps saying Richard, I wish it was better. I wish it was easier. I wish I had a whole, paragraph and I could say, okay, this is what happened. This is it. Da, 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 da. So,
Well, let me ask you this: how frustrating is it when you're able to assist in finding something, someone, and due to lack of evidence, because they just can't take your word for it, right? So I mean,
right.
they're going to need evidence.
Right.
How frustrating is that for a medium if they're like going, well, great, you know what? We think we found our suspect. We're pretty sure we found our suspect, but we have nothing to link him to.
Right.
So there you go.
Right. So the cool thing is that if you have a suspect and you know who it is, and I find his phone, say Zach's the murderer, I find Zach's phone, and that's part of the evidence. And I pick this up. I can sit there and tell you what the person looks like that owned that phone. So I could describe to you Zach. I may not get Zach's name, but I would describe Zach to a T. And if he's a person of interest, they're going to go, that's cool.
Yeah,
And
they can
that's
start
the
looking
link.
at him harder. Yeah.
God, I hope not.
Well, it would with Zach. It would be easy if something ever awful happens to him, and we just go right to the wife. That's a no brainer. Um, and no one would know that's not close to the situation like me. But
Right.
if they, I would never. It is what it is. But
Good question, Anthony. So he's wondering if I ever get a mental picture from spirit that I'm talking with. Yes, I do. Not all the time, but yeah, for the most part, I get it's like looking at a movie screen. So sometimes you'll see me like look off because they bring my attention to something usually flat or plain, and I watch a movie, which I didn't realize I did until when someone was like, "What are you looking at?" And I'm like, "Oh, am I?" So then I went, "Oh, I guess I am looking at something." So yeah, for me, I get to see a lot of stuff, but it can be gruesome too, as well. So,
well, it's about that time.
oh no,
I know, and I'm not going to see you for another
boo-hoo,
2 months. Listen,
right?
I know I'm going to get a lot of questions from people. That happens every time. They always say, "I wanted to talk to her and ask her a question so bad." Next thing I know, the show was over and I didn't. If you get a chance to talk to her, would you ask her this for me? So what I'll do is I'll just send people your way
Sure.
to either your website or send you a private message on Facebook if they have a question for you. And otherwise than that, I love
Yeah,
you. I'm
thank
so
you.
happy to see you and do this tonight. We will both have a nice long Memorial Day weekend next month, but then we will be back with the Happy Medium Monday after that
Yep.
for the rest of the
So,
year.
woohoo! And thank everybody for your questions. I just love them. So thank you so much.
Absolutely.
You guys make the night go by.
Have a safe trip home from your daughter's office.
Thank
Reach
you.
out to me anytime you need me for anything, and I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Good
Thank
night,
you.
Susan. Bye bye. Yeah, I love her. She's so cool. Yeah, there will not be a Happy Medium Monday next Monday, but then she will be back June 26th for the next Happy Medium Monday. I will be back for the all new live show this coming Friday, April 28th, and you're going to love her. Author and founder of CCPI, Colorado Coalition of Paranormal Investigators, the one and only Clarissa Vasquez will be here. And Clarissa also just recently graduated my online Introduction to Spiritual Warfare course. So maybe we'll get to talk to her a little bit about how that course has helped her and how well she did. I'm very proud of her for having done that. Um, Thank you to Zach and Adrian Clayton. Keep Zach in your prayers for his headache, his bad migraines. CommunityPayItForward.us. CommunityPayItForward.us. Go there. Buy something. Every time you buy something, it helps somebody in need. USOCC.org. That's the church that I belong to. If you're interested in night prayer or Bible study, go to bishopjameslong.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the homepage. The links to both of those are there. And what else do I want to tell you guys? Thank you to Things Network. Thank you to Temple of Phoenix Rising Entertainment. Thank you to Pact, little p, capital ACT, Podcasting for All Coming Together channel, Skeleton Key Network. Did I say them too? For all those networks simulcasting my show, and Chicky Hot, the rock psychic, has a radio network, www.beinspiredradio.net. www.beinspiredradio.net. She re-airs audio replays of my show all day long on Saturdays, along with a lot of other really cool shows there. Go check out her network. And every time I don't do this, I get people saying, "What happened to the bad joke?" So it is bad joke time. I'm going to pull a bad joke that one of you sent in out of this haunted carnival barker hat. And it's my poor attempt to put a smile on everybody's face before I say good night. Why can't you hear a pterodactyl going to the bathroom? Because the P is silent. Good night, Jack. Good night, dog. Good night, Harold. Rest in peace. Good night, Ernie. Good night, Bill. Good night, Dan. I love you all. God bless you all. Peace.